Foster by Keegan, Chapter 2. Beyond the kitchen, carpeted steps lead to an open room. There's a big double bed with a candlewick spread and lamps at either side. This, I know, is where they sleep, and I'm glad, for some reason, that they sleep together. The woman takes me through to a bathroom, plugs a drain, and turns the taps on full. The bath fills, and the white room changes so that a type of blindness comes over us. We can see everything, and yet we can't see. "Hands up," she says, and takes my dress off. She tests the water, and I step in, trusting her, but the water is too hot. "Get in," she says. "It's too hot. You'll get used to it." I put one foot through the steam and feel again the same rough scald. I keep my foot in the water, and then when I think I can't stand it any longer, my thinking changes, and I can. This water is deeper than any I have ever bathed in. Our mother bathes us in what little she can and makes us share. After a while, I lie back and through the steam watch the woman as she scrubs my feet. The dirt under my nails she prizes out with tweezers. She squeezes shampoo from a plastic bottle, lathers my hair and rinses the lather off. Then she makes me stand and soaps me all over with a cloth. Her hands are like my mother's hands, but there's something else in them too. Something I have never felt before and have no name for. I feel at such a loss for words, but this is a new place, and new words are needed. "Now your clothes," she says. "I don't have any clothes." "Of course you don't," she pauses. "Would some of our old things do you for now?" "I don't mind. Good girl." She takes me to another bedroom past theirs at the other side of the stairs and looks through a chest of drawers. "Maybe these'll fit you." She's holding a pair of old-fashioned trousers and a new plaid shirt. The sleeves and legs are too long, but she rolls them up and tightens the waist with a canvas belt to fit me. "There now," she says. "Mummy says I have to change my pants every day." "And what else does your mummy say?" "She says you can keep me for as long as you like." She laughs at this and brushes the knots out of my hair and turns quiet. The windows in this room are open, and through these I see a stretch of lawn, a vegetable garden, edible things growing in rows, red spiky dahlias, a crow with something in his beak which he slowly breaks in two and eats one half and then the other. "Come down to the well with me," she says. "Now? Does now not suit you?" Something about the way she says this makes me wonder if it's something we are not supposed to do. Is this a secret? "What?" "I mean, am I not supposed to tell?" She turns me round to face her. I have not really looked into her eyes until now. Her eyes are dark blue, pebbled with other blues. In this light, she has a moustache. "There are no secrets in this house. Do you hear?" I don't want to answer back, but feel she wants an answer. "Do you hear me?" "Yeah." "It's not yeah, it's yes. What is it?" "It's yes." "Yes what?" "Yes, there are no secrets in this house." "Where there's a secret," she says, "there's a shame, and a shame is something we can do without." "Okay." I take big breaths so I won't cry. She puts her arm around me. "You're just too young to understand." As soon as she says this, I realize she is just like everyone else, and wish I was back at home so that all the things I do not understand could be the same as they always are. Downstairs, she fetches the zinc bucket from the scullery and takes me down the fields. At first I feel uneasy in the strange clothes, but walking along I forget. Kinsella's fields are broad and level, divided in strips with electric fences she says I must not touch unless I want a shock. When the wind blows, sections of the longer grass bend over, turning silver. On one strip of land, tall Frisian cows stand all around us, grazing. Some of them look up as we pass, but not one of them moves away. They have huge bags of milk and long teats. I can hear them pulling the grass up from the roots. The breeze, crossing the rim of the bucket, whispers as we walk along. Neither one of us talks, the way people sometimes don't when they are happy. As soon as I have this thought, I realize its opposite is also true. We climb over a stile and follow a dry path worn through the grass. The path snakes through a long field, over which white butterflies skim and dart. And we wind up at a small iron gate where stone steps run down to a well. The woman leaves the bucket on the grass and comes down with me. "Look," she says, "what water is here! Who'd ever think there wasn't so much as a shower since the first of the month?" I go down the steps until I reach the water. I breathe and hear the sound my breath makes over the still mouth of the well, so I breathe harder for a while to feel these sounds I make coming back. The woman stands behind, not seeming to mind each breath coming back, as though they are hers. "Taste it," she says. "What?" "Use the dipper." She points. Hanging over us is a big ladle, a shadow cupped in the dusty steel. I reach up and take it from the nail. She holds the belt of my trousers so I won't fall in. "It's deep," she says. "Be careful." The sun, at a slant now, throws a rippled version of how we look back at us. For a moment, I am afraid. I wait until I see myself not as I was when I arrived, looking like a tinker's child, but as I am now, clean, in different clothes, with the woman behind me. I dip the ladle and bring it to my lips. This water is cool and clean as anything I have ever tasted. It tastes of my father leaving, of him never having been there, of having nothing after he was gone. I dip it again and lift it level with the sunlight. I drink 6 measures of water and wish, for now, that this place, without shame or secrets, could be my home. Then the woman pulls me back to where I am safe on the grass and goes down alone. I hear the bucket floating on its side for a moment before it sinks and swallows, making a grateful sound, a glug, before it's torn away and lifted. Walking back along the path and through the fields, holding her hand, I feel I have her balanced. Without me, I am certain she would tip over. I wonder how she manages when I am not here, and conclude that she must ordinarily fetch 2 buckets. I try to remember another time when I felt like this, and I'm sad because I can't remember a time, and happy too because I cannot. That night, I expect her to make me kneel down, but instead she tucks me in and tells me I can say a few little prayers in my bed if praying is what I ordinarily do. The light of the day is still shining bright and strong. She's just about to hang a blanket over the curtain rail to block it out when she pauses. Would you rather I left it? Yeah, I say. Yes. Are you afraid of the dark? I want to say I am afraid, but I'm too afraid to say so. Never mind, she says, it doesn't matter. You can use the toilet past our room, but there's a chamber pot there too, if you'd prefer. I'll be all right, I say. Is your mammy all right? What do you mean? Your mammy, is she all right? She used to get sick in the mornings, but she doesn't now. Why isn't the hay in? She hasn't enough money to pay the man. She only just paid him for last year. God help her. She smooths the sheet across me, pleats it. Do you think she'd be offended if I sent her a few bob? Offended? Do you think she'd mind? I think about this for a while. Think about being my mother. She wouldn't mind, but Da would. Ah, yes, she says. Your father. She leans over me and then kisses me, a plain kiss, and says goodnight. I sit up when she is gone and look around the room. Trains of every colour race across the wallpaper. There are no tracks for these trains, but here and there a small boy stands off in the distance, waving. He looks happy, but some part of me feels sorry for every version of him. I roll onto my side and, though I know she wants neither, wonder if my mother will have a girl or a boy this time. I think of my sisters who will not yet be in bed. They will have thrown their clay buns against the gable wall of the outhouse, and when the rain comes, the clay will soften and turn to mud. Everything changes into something else, turns into some version of what it was before. I stay awake for as long as I can, then make myself get up and use the chamber pot, but only a dribble comes out. I go back to bed, more than half afraid, and fall asleep. At some point later in the night, it feels much later, the woman comes in. I grow still and breathe as though I have not wakened. I feel the mattress sinking, the weight of her on the bed. God help you, child, she says. If you were mine, I'd never leave you in a house with strangers. Foster, Clark Keegan, end of chapter 2.